Welcome to this week's episode of Livewire TV. Boy, have I got a real juicy guest for you guys this evening. So, first of all, let me know where you're watching in as well, because we're broadcasting 7 p.m. GMT time to a global audience. I would love to know, where are you from? Where are you watching from? And also, we're broadcasting live across Facebook and LinkedIn and YouTube simultaneously as well. So, if you're watching on Facebook, you might have to click on the link in the description to let me know that you are watching, if you want to leave a comment. But yeah, Livewire TV is a part of Livewire Media, where we do corporate videography and video marketing. Each week on this show, I bring you guys a guest that's really, real juicy, really at the top of their game. And we talk all about inspiring conversations that's going to really ignite not only your mindset, but also your business growth as well. And this week, I've got a TEDx speaker for you guys. So I'm super excited to bring him on. Stephen, welcome to the show.
Thank you very much, Rohini. I'm excited. And I just want to say this quickly that, Rohini, for what you do, personally, I really respect everybody that, take a stand and take a step and say, hey, listen, I want to create a platform that can support and help others. So you have my respect. I admire you a lot for what you do. And I'm excited to be here. And hopefully, I trust that whatever we're going to share here today is going to be a plus for those who are
Amazing,
listening
yeah.
or watching.
It's going to be fun. I'm going to really love this one. So there might be a bit of a
Definitely.
delay because Stephen is all the way in Germany and I'm here in the UK. So there might be some internet issues, but do bear with us because the internet is still pretty good on our end. So let's get into it. And guys, if you have any questions for Stephen or even for myself, drop them in the comment section below. This is very much an interactive session, and I want you guys to get involved in the conversation as well. Even if you're watching on the replay, we'll be following up with any comments and any questions. So, Stephen, you were just telling me about your really inspiring backstory about how you kind of left home. You always had that ambitious mindset, didn't you? Yeah.
Yeah,
So tell
totally. I
us a bit
mean,
about who you are and what you bring to the business world.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Rohini. Well, ladies and gentlemen, my name is Stephen Dosu, and I'm originally from Togo, Togo, not Tokyo, okay, not Togo, not Tonga, but Togo. It's a little West African country, north to the south. It's 600 kilometers, and east to the west. It's about 180 kilometers. As of today, there's 8 million people living there. I mean, we grew very fast. Just 10 years ago, there was only 4.5 million people, okay? That tells you how much Togo people love making kids. Hey, so, so that's where I grew up. And sorry, my bad. Well, basically, I grew up in a two-bedroom house with 9 siblings. Okay, yeah, hear me well. I had 9 siblings, and it was a small, tiny room. I mean, we slept on the floor. I know what it is to share the floor with brothers and sisters, and to fight with mice and cockroaches. But growing up in those conditions, for whatever reason, couldn't kill the dream in me. Couldn't kill the drive and the hunger in me. So I mean, walking for miles and going to school and traveling in those tough circumstances. Somehow, I just had the dream that and I wanted to be something more than what my country circumstances were guaranteeing me to be. Basically, I mean, there's not much you can achieve if the basic salary of the country is less than $50 a day. And when
Where
for
do you
in your
think that
entire
drive came
youth, I
from?
mean, from 0 to 18 years, you've seen the same. Sorry. Go again. What you said?
Where do you think that inner drive came from?
Well, I mean, that's a very good question, Rohini. And I mean, I've asked myself that question many times. People ask me that question too. But here's my answer to that. Okay, so I think first of all, um, it also comes from the upbringing, first of all, and then secondly, it also it's something inherent, okay, to me, because I mean, from then until today, I'm still that guy that wants to, stretch my hands forth and do better than what the mean better than the means that I have. Okay, so I think my upbringing was definitely very tight. My father was a very strict person. I mean, for him, good is not enough. You gotta be great. That's for sure. And just seeing the things around me, I mean, even though that was my reality, just that little voice in me that told me that, you know what, I could be great than what I'm seeing in front of me, and being able to listen to that voice. And everybody has that voice, really. Everybody has that voice, but some choose to listen to it, some don't. And in my case, I've chosen to tune in and and regulate that frequency and listen to that voice that says all the time that I could be just a little bit more than what I am.
How
And
how exactly did
yeah,
you do that? Because for a lot of people, that inner
yeah.
voice is telling them negative stuff. You can't do this, or who are you to do this? How did you turn it into something positive?
Yeah. Well, I'm a firm believer that everything we do, I mean, that's what you say, it always comes out into two things, okay? Two paths. The first path is the path of confidence, self confidence, you may call it. And then the second path is a path of fear, self doubt, and low self esteem. In my book, Be Transformed: How to Live Free of Fear, Self Doubt, and Low Self Esteem, I talk about how, I mean, these three things, the fear, self doubt, and low self esteem, are the three toughest demons of mankind. The African proverb says that the enemies outside can do us no harm if there are no enemies within. So, like I said before, everybody has the voice of confidence and the voice of these three demons. Now, how do you tune in a way that you listen more to the voice of self-confidence than the voice of the three demons? Okay, and that goes through your daily habit. I mean, for years, for my entire life, I've always had these morning routines. And I mean, like, I'm gonna be 30 years old now, and I've never failed any routine, even days when I had no food to eat, if days, even days when I was sleeping on the street, even days when I was living off dust bins, even days when, I was victim of racism and being thrown on the street in the pursuit of success. I had never ever sleep a day. I mean, I've never ever let a day slip by without having those routines. So what are those routines? Okay, Rugini, do you want me to quickly share
Yeah, I'm
with the
really
audience what
excited,
those
really
routines are?
intrigued.
All right, great. So number one, okay, number one, and this might sound like a cliche to you, but trust me, it works. Okay, I'm not a firm believer of giving to you, these crazy and unbelievable formulas that you're gonna spend 50 years mastering. No, no. I want to give you something that if you use today, right now, you are unleashed. Okay. So number
Mm.
one, when you wake up in the morning, some people meditate, some people pray, some people just they just zone themselves. Why? You gather your thoughts, okay? You gather your thoughts and you just imagine all the beautiful things that you want to happen to you. Why? You conditioning yourself, you conditioning your mind into a zone where it can access all the positive things. Because you know what? They say that we have more than 50,000 thoughts a day, but almost 85% of those thoughts are negative thoughts. So by spending that 10, 15 minutes in the morning to pray or to meditate or to just simply be quiet and simply visualize and imagine, okay, those beautiful things that you're conditioning yourself. Number one. Number two, do something physical. I do every morning 150 push-ups, 70 sit-ups every day with no fail. Okay. So why do you do those things? So when I didn't start with 150 push-ups. I started with 5 push-ups. And then a week later, I added 2. Then a week later, I added 2. Okay, now I can go 150 on the go. But why? Because when you are going through every week and adding a two, what happens is you train yourself in the spirit of resilience, and you train yourself in gaining confidence that if I am the guy that 3 months ago could only do 5 push-ups, now I can do 35. Then I'm the same guy that if I have to go to this business deal and perhaps it doesn't work, then I'll go to another one and score. Right?
Mm.
And then number three, you want to read something in the niche that you are in, or what you aspire to be. In my case, for instance, I'm a motivational speaker. I read something motivational, or I mean, 5 years from now, I want to speak about, money, financial freedom, and all of that. So I definitely read something along those lines, 10 to 15 pages every day. That is the secret. That is the routine. If you can cultivate that habit, I'm telling you, you are success. Why? They said we do not decide of our future. We decide of our habit, and our habit decide of our future. All right. So you've got to cultivate
Yeah.
those set of habits that gives you a future guaranteed. So that's what I do, Rohini.
Guys, those of you who are watching at home, I'd love to know, what morning routine do you guys have? And do you have a morning routine or not? Do you find it beneficial? Let me know in the comments. And if you have any questions for Stephen, also comment with the questions as well. Even if you're watching on the replay, let us know. Yeah. So I think it's safe to say that you've always had that ambitious, motivated mindset from day one. Now, I imagine
Yeah.
along your journey, you've had a lot of, say, like imposter syndrome and negative people coming at you saying, you can't do this. How did you deal with that?
Well, you know, I mean, I was just talking a little bit about my journey, earlier on, and I mean, when I left home about 17 and a half, 18, now we're talking about almost 12 years ago. I mean, I went through about 15 African countries with a backpack and less than $150 in my pocket, day by day, hitchhiking, doing whatever I can to get to my destination. And I thought when I had arrived in South Africa, I thought that I had arrived in the promised land. I thought everything would be rosy, but no, it wasn't. Okay. I mean, I had done everything that you can ever think of on the space of this earth to survive. I had cleaned floors. I was a waiter, a security guard. I mean, at a certain point, I was working as a security guard by night and then working as a labor guy by day. By labor guy, I mean I cleaned floors, I washed toilets, I sold, I'm the salesperson. So I did everything on this construction company that I was working for. But now, if you know South Africa, this is the history of South Africa, you know that South Africa was a pro-apartheid country from 1926 to 1992. Apartheid is basically an institutionalized racism that basically promoted that white people are superior over black people. And the systems were built like that. So if, even 11, 12 years ago until today, there are still scars, yeah, and people that still promote that idea. And in my unfortunate circumstance, I happened to be working for someone that was pro-apartheid. And Rohini, the work I did on the premises did not hurt me as the words that this man used. It was a Saturday afternoon when he asked me to go and offload a 70-foot ton. I mean, and we're talking about a lot of cement. Okay? And I was an empty stomach. So I went
Is
and I
that why you started
worked
doing
and
all the
worked.
push-ups to build up his strength?
You can say that, And about 11 p.m., I passed out. I passed out. And when I came back the following day, when he saw me, he wasn't like, hey, where have you been? No, he saw me. He just like, and when I do this, okay, if you're looking at me doing this, these are beatings, okay? He was like, hey, you bloody monkey. Who do you think you are? You'll never be anything. You are useless. You bloody monkey. Whoa. Rooney, I can talk about this today, but the truth is, in that moment, I thought that I had developed the toughness enough to face anything. I thought because before that, I was sleeping on the street. Before that very moment, I thought because I had spent 3 days with no food, no water, I thought before that very moment that this white guy was abusing me emotionally and physically. I thought that all the things I had been through had made me grow a thick skin enough to withstand that. But the truth is, nothing could cut you so deep emotionally. And the words got stuck with me. And right after that, really, right after that, I walked into a church where I thought, I could find some peace, some rest, some heart restoration. I saw this girl that, she had a very beautiful voice, and I wanted to talk to her. Like, hey, I think you have a beautiful voice. And immediately she was like, whoa. And she spat on me that, hey, there's a racist words for foreigners, back then in South Africa, they call them kore kore. He's like, hey, kore kore, hey, spat on me. And I mean, my whole spirit came crashing. Okay, Ruini. I was like, what? What did I do to deserve this? But why am I telling this story, Ruini? Why am I telling this story? I'm telling this story because of the question you asked me that how was I able to shut down those voices? How was I able to, when I came across those people who said that I couldn't do it? I mean, when I started my speaking and coaching career, I met people that say, listen, do you know this industry is dominated by white from people from the Western world. You are a young boy from Togo-West Africa. Who do you think is going to listen to what you've got to say? Now, here's what I did. Okay. From that time, having been called monkey, being useless, having been called things that will, hurt you so deep in your soul that you even feel like committing suicide. Here's what I remembered. Number one, I remembered that I have been created at the image of God. And when I look into the mirror, I see nothing but a creator. When I look into the mirror, I see nothing but a mighty, powerful human. I had to understand that I can be transformed by the renewing of my mind. I had to understand that what I think and believe is what I live on a daily basis. I had to understand that how I view myself totally affect how other people view me and how other people behave towards me. And the perception of others does not define who I can be. It merely defines their own imperfections. All I can do is to give you the start, a clean start every single day. And that's what I did, Ruhini.
That
That's
is
what I did. So what I'm
really,
saying,
really
so what I'm saying is that,
powerful stuff about controlling your brand image, but also your mindset and your energy as well. Just had a comment come in from
thank you.
Martin. Hey Martin, long time no see. Martin's just commented saying, hi guys, my routine is to listen to audiobooks in the morning and listen to motivational perspectives. I love it. What a great way to
Yeah,
start your morning. And Martin, have you got any
definitely.
like personal recommendations for audiobooks or like YouTube clips that you might listen to? Let me know in the comments, because I also listen to them myself as well, and I know a lot of other people would also listen to them. So yeah, Martin, comment below with the audiobooks that you'd recommend, and also the motivational perspectives that you'd also recommend. Now, Stephen, you just kind of like, that is such an inspirational story in itself. Now, a lot of people, what would you recommend for people who do want to like have a more positive relationship with themselves, build up their like own inner energy, and not let negative naysayers get them down?
Sorry, Ruhini, do you mind repeating your question, please? It's breaking a little
Yeah.
bit here.
What would be your tips for helping people to like have a more positive relationship with themselves and develop that inner confidence?
Yeah, I think, I mean, I don't go to the gym anymore, but the time I used to go to the gym and I had a personal trainer, my personal trainer always used to tell me that um, the more tension you have, the more tension you can resist, the more you grow. Okay, and you have to follow a very strict diet. So, how can people, develop more confidence in themselves? I think I made mention to it earlier before. I'm saying that you need to be able to throw yourself in little situations that test your resilience, and when you are able to go through that while keeping your eyes open, while fighting your fight, while holding tight. Robert Schuller says that tough time never lasts, but tough people always do, right? And so being able to throw yourself in those little situations, okay, being able to stretch forth. There's a writer that said that when you find, I mean, whenever you find yourself every time, okay, doing what your means suffice for you to do, you're not growing, you're not a leader. So you must always be that person that is always reaching forth to things that you don't have the means to, because when you stretch yourself, it pushes you out of your comfort zone. When you stretch yourself, it pushes you to what I call the ablafo zone, what I call the transformation zone. So a zone in which you have to big strength from the inner that affect your whole being, and it's through that you are able to work your confidence muscles, and develop an attitude that make you believe in your abilities and your capabilities. And it's one step at the time. I talk about it, I say OSAT, one step at the time, being able to throw yourself in those situations that make you make progress one step after the other, and before you know it, you are that mighty human.
I love it. Consistency definitely is key. But Stephen, unfortunately, that is all that we've got time for. But guys, if you have any comments for Stephen or questions for him, drop them in the comment section below, and we'll be following up with you guys. No matter how late it is that you watch the replay, get your comments in. We'd love to know what you've got to say about this. Also, if you found value in this, do share it out with people, because you never know who is watching and who could be impacted by Stephen's really insightful advice. And on that note as well, I'd highly recommend connecting with Stephen, because he really knows his stuff when it comes to mindset. There's literally nothing that he hasn't been and done. I mean, you heard his backstory about pretty much coming from nothing to traveling, being a TEDx speaker, inspiring and empowering others, and really just building himself up. So, Stephen, where can people connect with you?
Written 4 books.
So yeah, where can people connect with you?
Well, reach out to me. I love connecting with people. Reach out to me on Instagram, Stephen Dosu, Stephen_Dosu, DOSSOU, or StephenDosu.com, or Facebook, Stephen Dosu. All you have to do, go on Google, type Stephen Dosu, and you'll see my LinkedIn, my Instagram, my website. Everything is there. Reach out to me. Let's have a chat.
Amazing, guys. You heard it. Boom. That is the end of the show. Stephen, thank you so much for joining us and sharing your awesome wisdom and your really inspiring story as well. I personally found it really inspirational, guys, and I hope that you guys at home did too. So that's it from me for this week. Join us next week, 7 p.m. GMT time. We're going to be talking all about accountancy hacks to accelerate your business growth and save you guys so much money and increase your cash flow. I mean, who doesn't want that? Join us next week, 7 p.m. GMT time. See you there, guys.